Hey folks, it's Matt once again, and now I'm going to start the Underworld franchise. The reason I'm doing this is for a nice guy named Jacob who has sent me a lot of stuff. He sent me video games, he sent me a lot of stuff, and one of the things he asked me, not only for a review of a film called Resident Evil Vendetta, but a review for the Underworld films. So I figured I'd review those. I did have a couple of them on DVD because I found them at one point for cheap, and I'm like, you know what, I haven't seen these films in a while. Let me give them another shot. So it was like a couple bucks a piece. Got it very cheap, including this one, the first Underworld. This is a 2-disc unrated extended cut, which maybe that was the mistake I made watching the extended cut of this, but oh well. But yeah, Underworld. When this came out in 2003, I remember seeing it in a theater, and I liked the trailer of the film. I liked that song in the trailer. Red, I forgot the name of the fucking song. I think it has red in the title, but anyway, I like the song, and I thought, okay, vampires versus werewolves. Let's see where this goes. When I saw it in the theater, I remember being fucking bored of this movie, being bored out of my mind, and not really caring for the color scheme, where it's this blue, almost, it's like Blade. I'd rather watch Blade or Blade 2, but it's gray, blue, so it's Blade, and a little bit black and I guess a little bit of white. But it's like blue and gray, so yeah, Blade. It's the color of Blade. That's what it is, a Blade. And watch it again. It's a time waster. I can't say I hate the film, but it's a time waster. What I don't mind is Kate Beckinsale. It's grown a little bit on me. Considering some other actresses I've seen, she's actually not that bad. I actually liked her. Type of character she's supposed to be playing. So Kate Beckinsale I liked. This one guy who plays the main werewolf bad guy. Well, he's kind of a bad guy, but not really. Michael Sheen, I thought he did a good job. There's actually some really good practical werewolf effects. And I like the look of the werewolves. And this one head vampire played by Bill Nighy, he gets awakened and he has these blood tubes coming from his back, and I thought there's some nice effects on him. Once in a while you get an okay, decent action sequence. In the finale you have a bit of gunfire. One scene where you have a werewolf versus a guy with a whip, and getting some nice practical effects. And some alright direction by Len Wiseman. It's not too heavily edited, so I don't understand what's going on. Number one, I think the mistake, like I said, I watched the extended cut, which is over 2 hours long. There's a lot of pretentious exposition dialogue. That's the thing with sometimes with this series. It seems like it's up its own ass with its pretentiousness. And I'm like, come on, it's werewolves or vampires. That's why I'd rather watch Blade. There's no werewolves in that, but that'd be a cool. Hey, you know what? A new Blade movie. Wesley Snipes put some werewolves in that motherfucker. Some practical werewolves for Blade to fight, as well as vampires. Hell, Blade has to deal with vampires, and they gotta fight werewolves. And then he kills the vampires because they're dickheads. Or, you know, maybe he joins with werewolves and he fights vampires. I don't know. That's a new Blade movie. Any of that combination. I'll watch that. Gotta be better than Blade Trilogy. Trinity, what the fuck it's called. See, that's how much I give a shit about that. I like the first two Blade movies. I definitely like them more than any of the Underworld films. But there's, like, to make a heads up, the second one I think is a bit better than this one. Because this one seemed like it had a better pacing and a bit more budget. The third one I don't care for. This one, the fourth one, I actually was surprised by when I first saw this. I think this is the best one. Well, it's my favorite because this one's only an hour and 18 minutes without the end credits. It's just fucking balls out action. It's like, okay, I want how long the end credits? Okay, so we're gonna have an hour and 18 minutes of her kicking the shit out of people, action, a parking garage, cars flying. Just fuck it. I'll get to that. And the last one, Blood Wars, I saw, and I'm like, wow, I think that's the worst one. I really do. I think that's the worst one. Oh boy, it can't be worse than Rise of the Lycans, but I think it is worse than Rise of the Lycans. It's so fucking boring, and every see, I'm talking about all of them now. But getting back to this, getting back to the plot, it's a war between vampires and werewolves. Kate Beckinsale is a death dealer. You have the subway shootout, some decent werewolf transformation. Once in a while, a bad CGI pops in there, but it's not as much CGI as I remember. There is some good practical effects, so I give kudos to that. A lot of talking. The grand vampires are posh. They live in mansions, having parties, while the werewolves lives in the sewers. They want a guy named Michael, which I keep thinking of the Lost Boys. Michael, Michael. Why are you eating maggots, Michael? But this is a shittier Michael. Hell, Jason Patrick is a better actor than this guy. Scott Speedman. Might as well wear a fucking Speedo because that'd be more memorable than his character. That's one thing. He fucking sucks in the movie. He's come in. That's his performance. He's a fucking wooden door. A wooden door in place of him be the same performance. I just don't care for this actor. He's really shitty. Anyway, she's wondering why they're following him. She gets to him. The werewolves on the walls. Even when I saw the trailer, this scene comes up when she shoots through the floor and falls through. I'm like, wow, they ripped off Nemesis. For those who don't know, Nemesis is a very underrated sci-fi action film with Olivier Gruner. Some people pronounce it Oliver Gruner. And he shoots through the floor, but he goes through like multiple levels of the building. So it looked even cooler. So I would say I like Nemesis more than this, and they did that on a fraction of the budget that this movie had. Like, I don't know what the budget this was, but the catering budget for this film would have been the budget for Nemesis, and I thought that was more impressive in Nemesis and a better movie. But I'm like, oh, shooting through the floor, you ripped off Nemesis, you ripped off Oliver Gruner. What the fuck? They get in a car. Michael Sheen, the werewolf's chasing after them. He has a blade come out of his wrist, trying to stab him. Stabs Kate Beckinsale. I'm like, you should have noticed because he's stabbing through you. You don't fucking move or do anything. You just sit there. You're not like trying to maneuver. You just sit there driving, and then of course you don't get stabbed in the shoulder, Kate Beckinsale. There's a car crash. Michael saves her. He was bitten by a werewolf, so she chains him up. Got to go deal with some stuff. This vampire asshole, I made a deal with the head werewolf, Michael Sheen's character, who's Lucian. And then Kate Beckinsale goes, fuck this, I want some answers. So she awakens the head vampire, played by Bill Nighy. He's a guy who has this nice effect, has these blood tubes coming out. Michael Pitt. For some reason, I got him and Brad Pitt put together. I don't know why. Michael, he finds Kate Beckinsale again. They fall in love. I think that's actually when she locks him after they fall in love. Vampires fuck over Kate Beckinsale. The werewolves kill a bunch of these vampires on this train. Again, did some nice werewolf practical effects. The reason they want Michael is that he can be half vampire and half wolf. He can be both, and they want that because it'll make him more powerful. Kate Beckinsale finds out how the war really started, that it wasn't the werewolves' fault, it was the vampires' fault, because the head vampire was an asshole and made the werewolf guy, Lucien, he had fallen in love with this woman who was a vampire, and it was Bill Nighy's daughter, and made him watch this woman die, and the werewolves were slaves, but they fought back against their masters. Lucien, Michael Sheen's character, fought back, and really, they're the good guys, if you think about it. He wasn't all that bad. And then this asshole vampire shoots him in the back. Again, the finale gets lots of gunfire. Again, this werewolf versus this one guy with a whip. Kills the guy with the whip. Scott Speedman's character is there as well. At one point gets shot. The asshole vampire tells Kate Beckinsale that the head vampire, Bill Nighy, he's the one who killed your family. Because they had lied to her. They said werewolves killed her family. Like, no, this dickwad here, he killed your family. So she's pissed. I think that's when she bites Scott Speedman, so that now he can be both vampire and werewolf. And then Bill Nighy and Scott Speedman have this fight, throwing each other around. She grabs a sword, swings, cuts Bill Nighy's head like this, and then that half slides off. They run off like Romeo and Juliet, and then the movie's over. Again, I'm not the biggest fan of this color scheme, which they go through all 5 movies with. I don't know. It didn't bother me in this film. I don't know why. Maybe because the rest of the film I enjoyed, so I could deal with it. I'm not the biggest into that blue, gray, blay color scheme. The other actor, Scott Speedman, I didn't care for. The asshole vampire that tells Kate Beckinsale that, oh yeah, that guy killed your family. He's also the guy that was working with Lucien the werewolf. He was the guy who wanted Kate Beckinsale to marry him. I didn't care for that actor. There's a lot of talky exposition. There's an air of pretentiousness, like its head is up its own ass of importance, as if you're doing Shakespeare, but no, you're a fucking werewolf vampire movie. And the moments that you get of just get some action in there. There's a bit of style in some of the action sequences. I'll give it that. Kate Beckinsale, not too shabby. I liked her in these movies. Watch them again. I think that's why I could watch it as a time waster for Kate Beckinsale and the little bits of action and the again the werewolves, some nice practical effects of them. But again, it just I can't say it's above a time waster. I don't do ratings, but if I did like a 5-star rating, I would give this like 2.5 out of 5 stars, and I would give like this one maybe 3.5 out of 5 stars, and like this one I would give like 4.5 out of 5 stars, and like this one is just it's there. I don't know if I'll ever watch it again, because this is the first time I watched it, and well, since I bought this DVD long ago. I can't remember when I got this DVD. But yeah, who knows if I'll ever watch it. Yeah. I'm just going to be repeating myself, so I better end it there. But yeah, the first Underworld, yeah. Sadly, I would rather watch the first Resident Evil movie. Of course, that's the only Resident Evil movie I would watch. And it's not even that great of a movie, but I have some fun with it. I will say that's a faster paced movie than this one. The Resident Evil sequels I don't like at all. While this one, at least it has a couple sequels that I don't mind. And I do think the second one, Evolution, is an improvement over it. I mean, the bad guy is this cool looking bat type creature. nice practical effects. I mean, the wings are CGI, but and that's the thing. Chase them. It's more of a chase movie. They're on the road, and you can tell they had a bigger budget with this. And it's a much shorter movie compared to that, and a little bit less exposition, pretentious dialogue than this one. But anyway, that'll be next time. See you later for my review of Underworld Evolution.